Hello again. This is the second in our quick and dirty videos, and this one will focus on pain relief. There are several different ways that Brown's gas can help reduce pain. Now, as I was saying before, I didn't have any idea that Brown's gas could actually enhance health in any way, shape, or form. And again, I'm only talking about things that have been told to me. So I got the first clues, real legitimate clues, about Brown's gas from a chiropractor. We'll call him Lloyd. Lloyd emailed me and asked me if the oxygen in Brown's gas was of a different kind that would help oxygen therapies, because he was experimenting with oxygen therapies. He'd been retired and just still thinking about helping people get well. In any case, I said I didn't know. And so he said, do you mind if I come up and test it myself? And I said, no problem. Come up. We made an appointment. He stopped by my lab and he started playing around with the Brown's gas. He actually brought a little device here that ordinarily goes on a sink spout, and there's only a sprayer here on this side. So he cut the sprayer off, and then he put this onto the Brown's gas machine. In this particular case, it was one of the big machines, but it works just equally as well on the ER50s. And then the Brown's gas coming out of here, he was able to then put on the skin in various ways, and we quickly discovered that the pain, muscle pain, would disappear when the Brown's gas was applied on the skin. Now, interesting little side note is my landlord was walking by my lab at that particular time, and we said, he was a big guy, and we said, come on in, do you have any pain? And he said, sure, I got pain in my neck and my shoulder. And so Lloyd, being a chiropractor, knew just where to put the Brown's gas so that it would help in the pain aspect. But it turned out that it was the Brown's gas itself seems to be going right through the skin into the bloodstream and hydrating the muscles. And that seems to be the thing that causes the pain relief. The knots of muscle just release as they get rehydrated. As one thing that I should point out, is that our bodies are made mostly of water. Water is made of oxygen and hydrogen. By weight, because oxygen is 8 times heavier than hydrogen, by weight we're mostly oxygen. But by volume, we have twice as much hydrogen as oxygen, and the molecules are the same size. So by volume, we're actually twice as much, mostly hydrogen. So hydrogen is vital to everything that goes on in our bodies. And in this particular case, it wasn't the oxygen, as in oxygen therapies, that was doing the enhancement. It was the hydrogen portion of the Brown's gas, along with some energetic things that we'll talk about in later videos. But in this particular case, what we're talking about is the Brown's gas going directly into the bloodstream through the skin and hydrating the body. Now, Lloyd, from that first experiment, went back to his city and started experimenting with Brown's gas on his patients. He didn't have money to actually buy one of our water torches, but he was able to build a machine. His friend helped him build a machine of his own from the Brown's gas book too. And eventually that particular machine broke down, and that's the next time we essentially heard from Lloyd. He called us up desperate, saying, and we just always are amused to laugh a little bit at this, because he was seriously desperate. He was actually, when his machine broke down and he had to tell his patients that they weren't going to get a Brown's gas treatment when they came in for their chiropractic adjustment, they said, well, then we won't even bother coming in, because they were so much better, so much pain relief by the Brown's gas, that they didn't even want to come in unless they were getting a Brown's gas treatment. So Lloyd immediately called us up, bought an actual commercial machine at that time, because now he had some money, and he went back and started treating his patients with the commercial machine. Now, another interesting thing that was discovered along this period of time was it wasn't just muscles. This hydration really helped things like carpal tunnel syndrome. Lloyd clued us into this, that the tendons, the sheath of the tendon gets inflamed because of dehydration. And what happens is, or rather the treatment for that, Lloyd just got long gloves like this that you can get in a farm supply store, generally used by veterinarians or people that need to bring a calf out or something. But in any case, all you do is you just simply take the Brown's gas and you feed it in to the glove, or this is a whole arm treatment, of course. If you just wanted to do a hand, you could just do a regular small glove like that. But then hold it here so that this essentially fills up with the Brown's gas, and the Brown's gas goes into the skin and hydrates essentially everything in there. And in this particular case, the carpal tunnel syndrome goes away entirely. And it's a cure in that it stays gone. If you don't, again, start doing the things, whatever it is that caused the carpal tunnel in the first place, it doesn't come back. Now, I have a personal experience with that, because when I was speaking about Brown's Gas for Health in Australia, at a symposium there was a person who had carpal tunnel in the audience who was so bad that he was going to be having surgery in the next couple of weeks. In this particular case, during the 3 days that I was there, we gave him 3 treatments a day for those 3 days. So in that 9 treatments, he was pain-free and didn't, in that case, have to go in and get the carpal tunnel syndrome surgery done. Just simple treatment like that. Another quick personal couple of things that have happened to us is my wife brought home, she calls him a waif, off the beach, an old man who, well, not that old, but he had a fellow about our age, was walking with a cane because he had severe back issues. His discs were degenerating, but he also had a lot of pain in his hip. And so Tanaj says, can you help this guy? So I got one of our machines running and used another high-tech device that, or apparatus that Lloyd had developed to simply put on his hip area. And about 6 weeks after that, after those particular series of treatments, this waif came back and told us how his pain had gone and didn't ever come back. And my sister-in-law had a similar situation where she works in a bakery, and her hands and arms were hurting, and we were able to just simply give her the Brown's Gas treatments on her hands and arms, and again, pain-free. The last thing I mentioned in here is there was an Oriental person who actually was buying my ER 1200 water torches, and he actually patented the Brown's Gas for use in health in the Orient. He would take buy my water torches, rebrand them with things on his own labels on the front, and sell them to health practitioners in the Orient. And this is his patent. And there's amazing things that he said in his patent, like groups of people where they were treating myalgia, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, infectious inflammation, non-infectious inflammation, allergy, bronchitis, asthma. The list just goes on and on, including glaucoma, cataracts, Parkinson's disease, gout, panic disorder, diabetic neuropathy. It just, again, there's a long list of things that they were doing, and explains the kind of experiments that they were doing in it. And it's just amazing, because if you go and look at this patent online, you'll actually see the pictures of our water torch with his apparatus right on the right in the patent. It's patent number WO for worldwide patent, 2005. The patent number is 049051. So this is one of the health aspects of the Brown's Gas, is being able to do this pain-free thing. Now we'll, in the next episode, start talking about bubbling the Brown's Gas through water. Now, up until now, we've been talking about the gas directly, use it directly against the skin. But now next time we'll talk about bubbling the Brown's Gas in water. And 2 little notes now that we're approaching the end, is that the ER50 kits generally are not available on our website. We will be making runs of the kits, and if you subscribe to our e-news, you will be able to know when Brown's Gas kits, these little ER50 machines, will be available, again as a kit form. We expect next run to be somewhere in the April-June of 2012 range. So be sure to subscribe to the e-news, and we'll see you in the next video.